I live at 38th and Elliott, one block from Chicago Avenue. I came home about 10 p.m. Memorial Day evening to see flashing lights and yellow tape at the corner with Chicago. I asked three young men standing on my corner what happened. They told me of the murder. I went over about noon the next day to see a memorial forming at the spot where George Floyd was murdered. I went back home to look at the statue that had been in my yard for many years, a Cherokee woman with her dying child in her arms on the Trail of Tears. I had noticed the bleeding hearts at her hearts on Mother's Day, a sad mother's story. The Trail of Tears is just one of many genocidal and racist atrocities committed against the native population since the Europeans first stepped foot on this continent. What just happened at 38th and Chicago is no different. Over 400 years of slavery, racism, and similar acts of genocide against Black Americans. I clipped the sprigs of bleeding hearts and placed them at George's memorial. For the next 12 days, I would return to the corner with my iPhone. With no intent or agenda, I would just be there and respond to the unfolding events.
Lives matter! Black 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 lives matter!
Are you really Pinkerton?
What? Oh, no, just a jacket. Grabbed it out of the...
I'm so angry, Lord! I'm so angry! I'm so angry! What do you want me to do? At the numbers! There's numbers and y'all haven't been doing! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! No peace! Prosecute the police! No justice, no peace! Prosecute the police! No justice, no peace! Prosecute the police! No justice!
Justice for blood!
That's what the fuck it is.
Justice for blood!
That's just what the fuck it is.
Fuck all that! That ain't gonna get it. We've been saying that too long.
We've been saying that way too long. We've been saying that way too long.
I gotta scream that to these motherfuckers. My life matters.
We've been saying that way too motherfucking
I don't have to say that no more.
way too motherfucking long.
At the age of 42, I'm not saying that no more.
I'm tired of talking. Talking is done, man. That's why they keep European news.
Come on now, everybody that's marching, let's go this way. People that aren't, get to the side. No peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. But look, with welfare, guess what? The man can't be in the house if you want your food stamps. The man can't be in the house if you want your infants. So we kick him out and we put him to the streets and we get mad when he come back in with an attitude. Right. And he don't want to take care of them kids. Dude, put me out. What's hustlers sleep in their car because they can't go home to the woman that they love and their kids because you tripping. You want weave down your back. You want him to pay for, get a job. Yes. Start a business. Yes. Help him hustle. Help. It's in him.
Stay on track, stay on track, stay on track.
A white man still say he know just what he see. Goddamn. I ain't even know what racism was until he said it. Regret it. Hold on. Why you always want to treat us like some criminals? Don't you know to our mamas we some miracles? Exactly. Claiming that Trump's a man. America great again. But it's never been great if your pigment is darker skin. These prisons they keep us in. That hole was way deep within. They tried to stop Kaepernick from kneeling, but Nike in. Now stop. Billing out the victim, tell us so, Ben Walls. Damn, maybe I should shut up. I see you, boss.
I followed the beating blades of a helicopter to Lake Street in Minnehaha. There I was confronted with the devastation of the first night of violence.
locals loot first.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
I was just looking.
Our leader, Jesse Jackson. Say I am. Somebody.
I am. Somebody.
Red and yellow. Brown, black, and white.
Brown, black, and white.
We're all precious.
We're all precious.
In God's sight.
In God's sight. Everybody.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Stop the violence.
Stop the violence.
Stop the killing.
Stop the killing.
Violence.
Stop the violence.
Stop the killing.
Stop the killing.
Keep hope. I am. Somebody.
Somebody. I am.
Somebody.
Somebody.
That has ever been made. You have an attribute that us old people don't have. You motherfuckers are fear. We have a new mind. You ain't scared of nothing. You ain't scared of nothing. That's what they afraid of. So they've been doing this to us for 463 years. You want to fix your police department? You good cops. Supposedly you good cops. You're going to have to start doing what the hell you tell us to do. You're going to have to start snitching on the bad cops. So if
What you have witnessed this past week was a modern day lynching. Because when I look at the situation, it's no different than seeing an African American male hanging from a tree than an African American male laying on the concrete with a knee on his neck. 5 to 9 minutes, you're watching an execution, a public execution. So I charge the young people, it's not about rioting. It's not about tearing up your city. It's not about destroying your resources. But it's about being proactive, locking arm in arm and saying, what is it that we can do? And I'll leave you with this one last word. Every movement that was in America that was about substantive change, it came from young people. We're waiting on the young people to stand up and be proactive in a nonviolent manner and use your voices and your resources and your social media, because this here revolution today will be televised.
I was at Lake Harriet early in the morning when I saw black smoke coming from the direction of my house, 2 miles to the east. I raced home to see that my home was okay. I followed the smoke to Lake Street to see that the destruction had firestormed up the street like a rapidly spreading virus. That day, a third of the businesses in South Minneapolis were boarded up, including virtually all of the 6 miles of Lake Street. I came home from Lake Street to find a bullet hole in my sunroom window. Paranoia followed. I put my important papers, hard drives, and cameras into the trunk of my car and parked it elsewhere for a few days. I made sure my garden hose was handy.
Do you feel that pressure? Do you feel that pressure? Now, can you imagine going through that for 9 minutes? And they ain't even trying to kill you.
I can't breathe.
Come on now. He can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
He 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 can't breathe.
I just want to let y'all know a little chapter of 10 seconds. 10 seconds of what a man got to go through.
By show of hands. All right. It really doesn't hurt that bad if they catch you in the body, but if they catch you in the head.
Thank you first of all for everybody that's out here.
I went into my sunroom for the first time to clean up the small shards of glass from the bullet hole. I then saw the bullet on my yoga mat. But this time the flush of excitement was that the shooter meant me no harm. He or she was sending me a message. I now saw the corner and unfolding events through a different lens. This is sacred space, full of love. The media was starting to come in full force. It looked like they were filming a sideshow. It reminded me of a friend's description of the media's priorities. If it bleeds, it leads.
Fist up! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
The clip of the Irish band playing Amazing Grace came from day 11. And considering music to play over the procession on day 8, I thought Amazing Grace would be a beautiful accompaniment. I went to the internet to find a version that might work, and there I discovered that the writer of Amazing Grace, John Newton, was a former slave trader. Searching deeper, I discovered that the Cherokee Nation had adopted this song. They put their words in Cherokee to the melody. It was sung along the Trail of Tears for those that had died but were not allowed a burial. I found this version by Walia, Rita Coolidge and her sister Priscilla, who are half Cherokee, and Priscilla's daughter Laura.
can't breathe. We 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 can't breathe.
By day 9, the corner was packed with tables and booths offering free food, both prepared and packaged, lots of water, and products, both personal and household, all free for those that needed them.
crazy stuff when we were kids. And look at all of us now. We're serving. Yeah, they did this.
By now, worldwide media attention was focused on the corner. Today, there were at least 10 international networks broadcasting live, including the Today Show and the CBS Evening News.
Brought back that near-death experience. I relived. Yeah, I can hear you. Need to put together. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'll follow you. Okay, all right. Okay. You guys see me?
This photographic aberration on my iPhone, the apparent disconnect of the head of the anchor from her body, led me to consider the media's disconnect from what happened at this corner. I went over all of the clips and the photos of the media I had over the 12 days and noticed that there was not one person of color on any of these teams. Not one. One would think they would consider that when assembling the teams they sent here, that they would include someone of color. The only black on these teams were the cameras.
Signing with us. You know how ugly the media can get for a story. So I need you to understand that what I said to you earlier was not misintent. But it was,
I'm supposed to be behind this in my ear, and I was 2 minutes. I was 2 minutes away from that. Real quick, tell me about why you're doing this and what you're doing.
Why are we doing this? You're memorializing and turning it from a hateful thing or a hateful act until a love act. Okay?
And so you literally just grab your spray paint, so now you're covering up the foul language.
Whoever sprayed the foul language on here, we have no idea who they were. I hope to think that they're not from here. There are infiltrators who have come into this community to try to make it something that it's not. We have had no more down here at all.
But a good sized crowd here who basically wants to be together. So, well, bring in more here.
Because it's not what we represent. You know, this is another language of hatred. And we only hear it to feel. I ain't good for that.